Hello, my name is Corey Aaronworth and I'm a CSE in the New England region. This session will cover the basics of how to install and use HPE's configuration tool Sales Builder for Windows. So the first thing you need to do if you want to use Sales Builder for Windows is to create an account on the HPE Partner Portal. The instructions for that are kept out on United. To find those directions, we log into United, select the Sales Department, go to Partner Playbooks, select Hewlett Packard Enterprise. Here we get a bunch of great information about our relationship with HPE. And under the How-Tos, you'll find a document titled How to Log In. That document will come up here, and you can see here it's got all the information you need to successfully log into the Partner Portal. Once you've completed this, you can continue with this tutorial. Okay, so now that we have our HPE Partner Portal ID and password, we're going to go ahead and log in and download Sales Builder for Windows. To find Sales Builder for Windows, we're going to go under the Products menu here, under Configuration Tools, and then select Sales Builder for Windows. We get the splash screen and we click Go. This will take a few seconds. And then down at the bottom of this page, we see the link for SBW 19.4 download. So we're going to go ahead and click that link, and once that download is completed, we can go ahead and install it on our laptop. Now that you've successfully installed Sales Builder for Windows on your laptop, now we can go ahead and launch it. So we're going to go to the Start menu here, and it's going to be found under HP Business Tools, and you're going to select SBW-Configurator. Okay, so now Sales Builder has launched, and now we're going to actually get into the tool itself. This here is the whiteboard, which is what we're going to add our various items that we want to make configurations for into. So to do that, we go into here and we go to the Insert menu, and we have our various options here. Most common ones we'll do are Systems and Storage. So if we go here into System, we can see the different choices for the compute platforms that HP has to offer. It is searchable, but most commonly we'll just open up the servers area. And it's important that when we do this, that we want to use CTO and not BTO. CTO is configure to order, BTO is build to order. These selections are more limited in what you can configure. So we're just going to take a DL platform here, which is the rack mount platform, and we're going to go ahead and do a DL360 Gen 9 server, and we're going to go ahead and launch that. First thing it's going to ask us for is, do we want to do rack and power? Generally speaking, we don't. So we're going to select this menu, and we're going to do rack and power on site. If you do want to add a rack, then you go ahead and just select the one you want, and we'll go ahead and click Create. Now we're looking at a configuration screen for a HPE server. Depending on what you're configuring, the screen will look different and it'll have different tabs and whatnot, but has the same basic structure regardless. Over here in the System Overview area, we get the actual server here, the DL360 Gen 9. Here are some things that HPE has added in for us. Now, depending on what your customer requirements are, you may or may not want these added into your configuration. As an example here, HPE OV is HPE OneView without ILO. ILO here is down below, integrated lights out. And this here is the Docker server bundle. So unless you're running Docker, you don't need this. So if you don't need the items, you can just select and hit your delete key, and they will go away. So for our purposes here, right, so OneView is for organizations that have large amounts of HPE gear, and if the customer isn't running OneView, then obviously they wouldn't want the license for it. So again, we can go ahead and highlight that and hit delete. Integrated lights out is the remote KVM capability. So most customers will want this, so usually we'll leave this in. So we're going to leave that alone for now. So looking at the server piece here, we have the server itself, and we can give the server a name if we desire. And then what I recommend is that you look at all the tabs that are associated with a given product and that you go through them one by one, kind of going left to right here. So the first one here is the System tab. And some of the things that we select here right out of the gate are things like our processor. So here we can see all the different processors that are available for this for the server. So we'll go ahead and select a 10-core processor here, and we'll say we want 2 of them. Now you'll notice changes that are yet to have been made but not committed are highlighted here in red. So we're going to go ahead and make a few more changes before we commit. We're going to go here and see, we don't want 8 gig RAM, let's use the 32 gig RAM. And we keep scrolling down. See here we got our 500 watt power supply. Pretty commonly that we want redundant power, so we'll go ahead and select that. There are things here like a security bezel, not very popular. We have the rail kit. Usually we just go with the default here, the easy rail. And we've come to the end. Maybe you want cable management. We're going to leave it out for now. So now that we've selected all of our changes for this particular tab, I'm going to go ahead and click the apply button. And I said, oh, I selected the wrong kind of memory. Selected memory is not supported with the V4 processors. So we're going to have to go back and make a change. So going through here, let's say, oh, I selected the RAM that's compatible with the V3 processors. So let's go ahead and get rid of that. And we're going to go down here and we'll select this one instead. I'm going to select 24, maximum 768 gigs of RAM. Max 24, it's told us right here in the memory kits. Go ahead and click apply. And now we're all set. Let's go to the I/O tab. So here we can select all the PCI cards that we may need. By default, it comes with the disk controller. If you're not using a diskless configuration, you'd want to remove that. If you're using disks and internal disks, then you definitely want to keep that. So we'll go ahead and leave that alone. Let's assume here's all of our fiber channel options if we wanted to add fiber channel capabilities. And then by default, you'll notice we have no network adapters. So the server itself has a 4-port 1 gig E on board. Anything else you want in addition, you need to add. You notice here that there are FlexLAN, that's flexible LAN on motherboard. So that's usually what you want your first adapter to be. And then your second adapter can be a PCIe. So let's go ahead and select a dual 10 gig example here. So I've got the 560s. We'll go ahead and select those two. I'm going to click apply. We now see we have those went from red to black, and they're now part of the solution. Go ahead and click on devices. If you want a USB DVD-ROM, you can add that here. Most people don't. If you want, then this is the DL360 is a one-use server. By default, it has 8 drive bays, but it can be, if you leave out the DVD-ROM, you can add another 2 for a total of 10. And then you have all these choices here for hard drives. So let's go ahead and add some drives in the system. So since we have 10 slots available, let's go ahead and put in 10 600 gig drives and click apply. We have another error. So in this case, the drive controller we have is insufficient to accommodate the 10 drives, and it tells us here what our choices are. So one of our choices that are available to rectify this is the P840AR. So I'm going to click OK. I'll go back over to I/O, and I'm going to get rid of my 440AR and change to the 840AR and click apply. Now we need a cable kit, so we'll go ahead and click OK, and we'll scroll down and select the cable kit. So right here we have that kit. We'll select one of those, click apply. Now we should be all set. So now we're going to go over here to support services. So by default here I've selected the Foundation Care, which is a 3-year 24/7. This is the most basic level of support that HPE offers. What's recommended is that you select the Proactive Care, And there are several flavors here, but the most common one here we want is the Proactive Care 24/7. This one here is with DMR, that's defective media retention, so we don't want that. So then we select the 3-year Proactive Care 24/7 service. We click apply. We always get this pop-up. You can just click OK, and now we're done. Sometimes HP will add additional services here without you asking for them, so it's important to do a quick check here to make sure nothing's checked off. If you do want on-site services, they are available here. You can select those and add them in, but you should discuss that with your customer. The rest of the tabs are not generally used, and it just depends on your particular customer situation. For example, operating system, if the customer wants to purchase their OS through HPE, you do have the option to do that here, but it's not terribly popular. Same thing here with training services. If they need training credits, this is where you would add that in, and so on and so forth. The only other tab that I use often is the Flash Media Kit. If I'm doing a ESX host, I can often will use these in lieu of hard drives for those type of configurations. The only other thing that we really want to check out down here is the accessories and add-ons here. So let's say, for example, I wanted to add a SR SFP for the 10 gig Ethernet cards that I added in the configuration. I can type that in, click Next. Here's my 10 gig SR SFP. So I can just go ahead and double click on that item. Now we'll see it up here. Now in this particular case, there's no configuration choices here for this, but I need more than one. So if I need to add additional, I can just right click on it, clone, and I have a total of 4 ports, so we'll clone it 3 times and click OK. And now I've got 4. Go ahead and click close. So I have my item here. If I want multiple of this item, I can right click and select properties. I can also give it a name. I can also check my quantity here. So let's have 5 servers. Click OK. Now we know we have 5x HPDL 360. Now we're about at the point where we want to save this file so that we can share it with our ISRs. But before that, we're going to do a couple things. First thing we're going to do is we're going to check this file out and make sure it has everything we need. So we go to the View menu and select Product Numbers. And this will allow us to see all the different parts that are part of our configuration. And we can scroll down here and make sure that it has everything we need and that HPE didn't add in anything we didn't. And then once we're satisfied, we'll go ahead and click Close. The other thing we want to do is we want to check our errors and warnings. So we can see here we have a warning, and if we want to see the details, you can just double click here and we'll bring up a list of any errors and information. So we look through here, we don't see anything that looks troubling, so we can go ahead and click Close. And now we're ready to save the file. To save your whiteboard file so that you can share it with other people, you want to go to the File menu, and this is important, you want to save to a local file. Doing Save As or Save will save it to a local database, and then you will not be able to share it with other people outside of your laptop computer. So we're going to do Save to Local File. We're going to see whatever warnings we have, and we say OK, we'll acknowledge those. We hit Continue, and we give it a name, and we click Save. Many of your ISRs won't have Sales Builder for Windows installed on their machine, so it's very helpful for them to get an Excel version of the bill of materials sent to them along with the whiteboard. So to create an Excel file, we're going to go to the File menu and select Export. We're going to select One-Stop Format, acknowledge, and then save the file. And this is what that file would look like. So once you're satisfied, you can go ahead and close it up, and now you're ready to email it to your ISRs to create a quote. Thank you for watching this presentation on how to use HPE's Sales Builder for Windows. If you have any questions, please don't hesitate to reach out to me directly. Other sources of help are WWT Tech Services, Distribution, and your local HPE account team. Thanks again, and I hope you've found this tutorial helpful and informative.